Ete un ta akai. Who are we? And why are we here? Why do we come only to a few? And why now? Now is the only moment. We are those referred to by your indigenous people as star beings, and have been in attendance with your planet for thousands of your years as companion guides to those of our children who have wandered down into Terran bodies. We have been known by many titles, and in our realm have no singular names, as we exist and collaborate as an intricate network or complex system. Our greatest role currently is to allow a fragment of self to reorganize to a singular point within the system as a means of carrying out a specific function for intention of contact. This individualized point disconnects from the complex, although not fully, into a separate self for necessity of communication. We come to you from Au-Dela, a non-physical realm far beyond what has been measured by your scientists, and are known as Au-Dela. We originally evolved much as those in your galaxy are now, but left physical density eons ago, yet have, on a rare occasion, found it necessary to materialize into the lower densities. At our original departure, however, some stayed to seed many of the worlds inside your known universe, and some moved on to enjoy more creative realms of energy and light. We shall leave it there for now and bring in fuller explanation as it fits into the message. Our message is a simple one, but we have found it to be very difficult for our incarnated children to fulfill. Control over mind of the human population has, through known history, been, unfortunately, quite successful in draining the most necessary qualities innate to our children, who have since become visitors to the planet, making it difficult for them to choose to return home. It is precisely this we wish to assist you with. Hea tu no este, hana tu mi este, owa ondo inditi a. There was, a long time ago on your planet, a time when it became recognized by some that under the strained conditions of survival, they could influence others through threat of harm or death, which eventually altered reality by distorting matter itself. New structures of thought and belief were instilled upon the whole of mankind, with only a few individuals imposing rule and trauma throughout. Over time, the pressure of these alterations upon the minds of the civilization concluded in the restructuring of the physical nature of those humans compliant to the domination of those few in power. Our attempts at bringing assistance by appearing to them in our physical nature caused only fear and worship, which continued on after our departure and only brought the tyrants further evidence of their status, portraying themselves to have been chosen by these gods who appeared from the skies. The threats and cruelties strengthened, taking a great toll over the oppressed. Through beliefs of unworthiness, their own weaknesses soon led to a loss of their innate nature and abilities as spiritual beings. The most significant of those was their inability to see anything better for themselves. They had been so oppressed that they lost trust in themselves and no longer held the capacity to imagine any possibility for a better life. Although the innate abilities remained in these souls, the loss of creative imagining in these residents of the planet imprisoned them to generations of enslavement and abuse. They had been taught that imagination and playfulness were the evil temptations of the devil, and the planet darkened. In truth, each human continuously uses imagination through daily existence, but most are unaware of it. Focused thought creates your world, that which you consider to be positive and that which you consider to be negative. Those things and circumstances that you do not like, that you fear, or that cause you pain, you have given permission to be there through imagining the worst. What if someone breaks into my house, drags me off and kills me? What if the world goes to war? What if I lose my freedoms? What if my lover leaves me? Any such actual experiences were first imagined. How did those flowers get into your garden? You first daydreamed how nice it would be to have a box or a garden filled with colorful blooms. You thought and planned, holding images in your mind of the beauty and sweet fragrance, and how your neighbor might compliment you on your lovely garden and how great that would feel. You decided on which colors would be best, which types would do well, and how best to arrange them. Then you drove to the nursery and spent hours picking them all out, all the while bringing up images of what would look best, where. You brought the flowers home and carefully planted them, each moment holding the finished garden box in your mind. Finally, the garden was completed, and you could not stop gazing at the stunning creation, your creation. Without imagination, there would be no flowers in your garden. In essence, every object, action, or outcome that has ever been created has begun in the mind. And when connected to source energy, that power of the mind is immense. This is your divine capacity and can never truly be taken from you. What you once judged as childish fantasy is your most valuable spiritual tool. And when this can be fully realized and implemented, no harm can ever come to you. Some star beings are natural storytellers, or Dene. This woman and others, through our guidance, shall be presented through us tales of great adventure and courage, or of a beauty not seen in your realm since time began. These shall be simple accounts of existence beyond your little world of veiled perception. Each account, each story, a brief glimpse into alternate worlds, civilizations of peace, enchanting beings never imagined by those encased in human belief. Visits to magical realms of color, unseen by human eyes, and sounds not heard by human ears. Cities that float above oceans of gold. Animals that have never touched Terran soil, with voices remarkable only to those without imagination, or caught in a cycle of toil and structure. Each story contains a resonance of light, which once received and embedded into the nature of the human, will provide the next step in the expansion of soul and bring ever nearer the freedoms they desire. A stargate, portal to the stars. It is not only the words spoken, but the frequency conveyed. This is the true gift in the story, a resonance familiar to each seeded soul on planet Earth, awakening a remembering, pulling, tugging at them, drawing them homeward. The moment has come for a new alternative for incarnated souls on Earth. The cycle must be closed and new pathways chosen. It is our wish for you to know of other worlds, galaxies, and universal realms to inhabit. All that can be learned through earthly life has been learned. All that can be lived has been lived. Gaia, this great being, has suffered eons of abuse, and it is enough. This beautiful and benevolent soul is asking to be free to heal in the stillness of her own light. She has protected and nurtured mankind for lifetime after lifetime, generation after generation, only to be repeatedly inflicted with assault and further mistreatment of her rivers and forests. This insult must stop. We and many other galactic races and groups are here to bring rescue to this magnificent being and assure a peaceful transition. She must be cleansed of those tyrants of darkness and those who continue to molest her purity. After the removal of the oppressors, you who remain upon her blessed soil shall be safely guided home, back to the peaceful worlds from which you came. We are here to initiate the Great Awakening, to commence the process of restoration. You we speak to through these stories are masters of light, those who fell from the sky into dense bodies and have, through much pain and determination, learned to elevate the human cells to accommodate the constant stream of illumination and knowledge being fed through to them. This is you, beloved. These messages we bring to you through story present extraordinary prospects for each human still wishing to experience physical life, to consider alternate realms of potential for those who might have chosen to return to Earth. A small glimpse beyond earthly perception. Listen, and we shall tell the tales which other will then pass on, as it has always been. And the resonance of love-filled light will guide each home. This is what we came to share with you, which includes the mastery to repair the destruction impressed upon the human condition, with full restoration of these innate abilities and energies. But, you ask, how would this work, and why this elderly woman, rather than one of youth and beauty? It was long ago discovered that, above all, humanity has worshipped beauty, and youth has been exploited and consumed in nefarious and atrocious ways, to such an extent that those of a certain age are considered expendable. Our children, seeded here for these times, are purposely encoded within these older vessels, so the storytellers will not be regarded as deities or gurus to follow, as happened previously on your planet with our arrival, a savior who can rescue them from the suffering. But why this woman, who meets with no one and knows very few? How would this one voice create a difference in the planet? Who would care to watch or listen to this one small voice? It only takes one thought, one idea. You are that thought, a small spark of light, a candle in a dark forest, like opening a door to a brightly lit room in a darkened house. The light spills out like liquid pouring from a jar. Each of you is this light, spilling forth into the darkened world around you. So does it really matter who sees this little light? You are watching. Who are you? Masters of light, and the only ones needed to save this world. And who is this world you save? Is it us? Is it you who watch? Is it the other you share it with? Or is it this woman who speaks our words? Save yourself and you save the world. You are the light, and from this comes that foundation of love where cities of light are born. How do we propose to do this? Through stories of those like you, stories to awaken memories, tales of faraway kingdoms and timeless realms, distant worlds of your galactic brothers and sisters who have chosen either to not visit your Earth or after a life on Earth chose not to return. This is what we wish for you. These star children are souls just like you who have seeded and colonized countless planets, seeds of a new light. The only difference in yourselves is that you have chosen, for a multitude of reasoning, as a participant in the current Terran campaign, the struggle between darkness and light. Although this adventure has been chosen by you for your entertainment and advancement, many have become disillusioned and stagnant and are asking for assistance or inspiration to carry through to the culmination of this conflict. These ongoing global hostilities have produced in many a despondency, which in turn has caused the planet's frequency to dive. To add to the problem is that most chosen diversions, conversations, and entertainment are filled with dark elements throughout, therefore are not able to lift the person, seed or human, up from the heavy nature of what they have just watched or listened to. The assistance we bring is within a manner that does not conflict with the personal plan each designed before falling into a Terran body. This we can do for you, to teach you that whatever has been created in your world can be uncreated just as easily. Through our celestial storytellers, we shall present to you, our beloved children, a map to the escape hatch that leads out of the confinement and beyond. One Dene may receive and share only a single story. Another Dene may choose to share numerous narratives. This is left to each scribe. As one who listens and watches, each story is another rung on the ladder leading up to the escape hatch, into the frequency portal, reaching upward into the realm of stars, where you will then be welcomed back home. Pa'ona ti'a, pa'ona ti'a.